Let's talk about the Christian man and romance, and especially the Christian African man and romance. There's a lot of pressure on us, actually, especially during a time like this, to conform to the Western defined way of romance. And before you think that I'm anti-romance, let me clarify this way. Actually, because of the Bible, I believe in romance as a gift to married couples. You know, the Bible has a whole book dedicated to romance, love between a lover and the beloved. So God knows and is the one who wired us to have those romantic feelings and wants to express them to someone that we love. So they are true and they are godly and they should be encouraged in the context of marriage. But in times like these ones, during this season, most of the time the devil will also have a way to get us to abuse a gift that God has given us. So most of the time it will be young people who embrace this romance in a way that destroys them and destroys the relationship with God. There will be many regrets. For example, after these Valentines, young people will lose their virginity or chastity. Many young people will have regrets of having become pregnant or having STDs. It shouldn't be if we do it God's way. So romance for the married couples. For the African man, we've been pressured, especially to ensure that we look like the Western man in terms of romance. We have to, during Valentine's, you have to carry flowers, chocolate, take her out. And there's nothing bad with that. But you see, for the Western man, the man in Europe and in America, that is natural for them. That's part of their culture. But for us, that was not part of how we knew love to be expressed, especially for those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. Our parents were never expressive in their romantic love, but we were sure for most of us that they loved each other. So we don't have a practical example of how romance, especially public display of feelings, PDF as some young people will call it, was supposed to look like. We never had that example. But we have the pressure to look like the Hollywood man, like the people in the soap operas. That should not be. That should not be. And maybe what we need to do is to ask the Holy Spirit. And this is one of the things that we feel if we ask the Holy Spirit to get involved in our romantic experiences, we are making the Holy Spirit dirty, or this is not something that the Holy Spirit should be involved in. But every area of our life should be invaded by the Holy Spirit. We should allow him to have a say, even in romantic expressions. So rather than copying, rather than bringing the patterns of the world into our relationships, let's seek what God would want us to do concerning romance and how we express it to one another. If he says yes, go ahead and carry flowers for your wife, I'll carry the flowers. If he says take your wife out, I'll take her out. I know for most of the men, actually, this takes a little bit extra effort. It's not comfortable for most men. So especially I know myself, just, for example, carrying flowers in public, going to take them to my wife is not a normal thing. It's not a comfortable thing for me, but I do it because I know it means a lot for my wife. And maybe also as couples, we are unique and we should find a way of how can we express love to one another, romance to one another, a way that will be meaningful to my wife and also for her to me. There's also this concept about the men being just the only ones who need to express love. But notice, actually, if you love somebody, you will give. You will go an extra mile to do what is important and meaningful for them. I know the young girls, the young people who've grown up with Hollywood on our faces, they have a concept. Their romance has been defined. And we can start there, but we should seek to know what the Holy Spirit has to say and what that say would be, the way we express the romantic love to one another. And I know also that when sometimes the pressure of, for example, Valentine comes about, that those people will say, I express love to my wife all through the year, so there's no need to express for her during Valentine's. But I think, it should be. Actually, I should be loving my wife every day. But there should be this one extra day that I go an extra mile also to re-emphasize, renew that romance, ignite afresh the fire. So Valentine doesn't take away from the daily love for my wife and doing nice things for her. It only comes with some extra things on this one day of the year. And then also for the ladies, please do something for your husband. Don't just be the receiving end only. Just let also him realize that you love him too. And you can be able to go an extra mile to do what is meaningful for him. And then also, you know, some of the things that make it hard to celebrate Valentine's would be unresolved issues. You know, for example, accumulated anger. With me and my wife, there have been issues, but we never resolved them. They saw anger building in me, and over time, that comes out in the way I think about her, the way I do things towards her. And if we want to have a meaningful Valentine's, let's do something to resolve those issues. Let's even take time to go and sort out our issues, then celebrate this the true way. Is it easy? No, it is not. But it will make a difference, because celebrating with unresolved issues still will be awkward. There will be something still missing, a thing that you can't force. And, you know, finally, if I were to give something in biblical about this, you know, Abraham and Sarah, you know, most people don't think that they were romantic, but there's a passage in Genesis where Abimelech caught Abraham and Sarah doing PDF, public display of feelings, meaning that this godly, the father of faith, was also a romantic person. So it is a good thing. And then for Sarah, you know, she was beautiful even at 65, when they're going to Egypt. She's attractive enough to catch the attention of the Pharaoh. And we are told by Peter, the reason that beauty was outstanding is because she was submissive to Abraham, even calling him her master. So probably, ladies, the way to make yourself attractive according to the Bible is how you treat your husband. Are you submissive? Are you submissive? Are you submitting to him? Do you respect him? And men, do you love your wife like Christ loved the church?